Hello, beloved. I thank you so much for your time and I thank you for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. This will be your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time. To those who are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love as well as spiritual path. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings for $50 per month. You get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, as well as career and finances. You'll find the link to my Patreon listed down in my description box below. You can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google, search it, and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. Without further ado, let us tap in and find out, why were you spiritually led here? What is here for you, beloved? Why did you resonate with the title? And why did your own YouTube algorithm present you with this message? Let us tap in and talk to God, okay? So I split the deck on the energies of the Nine of Pentacles to the Eight of Swords, right? And from that, I channeled a specific energy here. What I'm seeing, what I'm feeling is, I feel like there's a very strict. I'm seeing a very strict ancestry here, a very strict bloodline that you come from. Okay, one which is strict in a way of like, the people that have existed within your ancestry lineage before, the people in your bloodline before, their purpose on earth was very straightforward. Like, it was quite clear that they were healers, for example. It was quite clear that they were here to shake some things up. It was quite clear that they were here to open doors, create something new. You know, there's different reasons as to why they were here, because there's different reasons for all of you, because you come from different ancestry lineages and bloodlines, but you get the idea, all right? They came here for something specific. I'm seeing that this strictness has fallen over to you, all right, based on your identity. Let's see. Yeah. There is something here you are meant for, something you are meant to do, a position you are meant to be in, a door that is meant to be in your name, something that maybe you are going to create, someone you are meant to be, a position you are meant to be in, a room you are meant to open up for others, or a room you are meant to enter in. And that will create a room for others as well. You know, you should take all of that how it resonates. Because you know your path better than anybody else, right? Better than I do. So Father Temperance, we have Sagittarius energy. So the way in which this strictness has fallen into your identity, it's like there's a severe strictness that I'm picking up here with this Hangman as well. We have Pisces energy. It's like this strictness has to do with, it's like, you know how they say some things are rigged, right? They say some things are rigged. Whether it could be something as superficial as a certain game, like you learn everything, but then you never win. Or you always end up in a specific level of the game. And it feels so rigged. It seems so rigged because no matter what, you don't really accomplish something out of it, right? And another thing that can be rigged is a system where there is a hierarchy. Only certain people get to be in this position and everybody else got to be lower than that. right? And it's rigged in that way. No matter how much you try to get to the top of that top position of the hierarchy, it just, you don't end up getting there because of how it's already rigged, that system. So those are two analogies, reference points, case studies, and examples, right? Tying them down to the generalization of this message here. It seems as though what you are here for, it's rigged in your favor. Like something is meant for you in that way. Something is fated and destined for you in that manner, right? I'm seeing it's only a matter of time here. Okay, if you haven't accomplished something already, it's only a matter of time. If you're not already on that purpose path, all right, or you don't see the purpose, you don't feel the purpose, it's only a matter of time. There's a reason to why you exist, right? And your ancestors are going to be right there with you through this whole thing, this purpose of yours. Clarify the temperance, they are already here is what I just heard clairaudiently. We have the Three of Wands reversed. Yeah, these are really strict ancestors. They don't play, okay? They do what needs to be done. They conduct themselves in a manner of respect. You know, they don't come here to cause havoc in other people's lives, using you as a vessel to do so. You know, meaning that how that can happen is in different ways, right? But I'm being asked not to even explain that, but that because that's not what they're here for. It's like certain ancestors make people believe that ancestors are demons because of how bad, you know, of a rep they give ancestors. But ancestors are different because they've walked different paths, and certain ancestors been dark in their existence on earth, and then they ascended and passed on still in that energy. So obviously it carried on into the lineage. And so same with good people that existed in your lineage, and they died in that energy, ascended and passed on in that energy, and now it's on you. There's something on you here. It's like you are going to be surprised about how things are going to turn out for your reality if you are not already surprised, because there's a way in which life is going to manifest for you, and there's a way in which things are going to happen for you that is going to be almost magical. And it all has to do with the linked purpose that you have based on your ancestral lineage and your bloodline. Your ancestors are making it happen. They're making sure that you get to a certain position. All right. There's a lot of people that, you know, they don't know that they have their ancestors by their side, whether their ancestors are good or bad. They exist. Your awareness of them is not needed. That's how much power they have over us. You know what I'm saying? You can channel someone in your ancestral lineage. Let me give you an example, a reference point, a case study, an example. Okay, I said that twice. So I have an ancestor, right? I already have an ancestor that was a brain surgeon, but let's speak of an ancestor that's more relatable. You know, she's coming through. She was a musician and a dancer. She loved music and she loved dance. All right. And she loved comic dance. All right. She liked dancing as if she's like a fool, you know, like those, like she could make people laugh through the way she moved her body and her facial expressions and the body language, you know what I mean? So I picked that up on my end. It could be something as it could be on that level, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be something spiritual, even if it is. I'm just broadening the horizons of what assignment you could be carrying on, right? Having a gift, having something you're really good at, having a personality, a trait, a characteristic, a talent, you know, a skill. It's all based on ancestral lineage and bloodline, where you get it from. Don't ever forget that, all right? So coming back to the generalization of this message, that's exactly what's going on. You are carrying out something that was bestowed upon you based on your ancestors and what they were on in their time on earth, right? On their time on earth. We have the Knight of Wands. So we have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. All right. So what I'm seeing, it's like whatever this assignment is for you, beloved, based on your reality and your life and your world, it's something that doesn't die. It evolves, right? It evolves with the seasons. It evolves with every season that you enter. And I'm not talking winter, summer, spring, autumn, or fall. I'm talking like, you know, there's Aries season, Taurus season, Gemini season, so forth and so on, Leo, Virgo season, Capricorn season. You know what I'm saying? So with every season and every trimester of the season, because each sign has its season and it represents it in a certain period of life. It's this year that we're experiencing Libra season, but Libra season was doing something different last year. It was in a different spectrum, a different energy, embodying a different purpose. So you understand, it has, every sign has a purpose. Therefore, every season has a purpose as well. Every season of everyone's life, whether whether you have awareness of that or not, all right? Pardon me. Whether you have awareness of that or not, it's as if every season brings forth its own purpose to fulfill on earth. And therefore, that aligns with us as the people on earth. So with that being said, whatever you have, whether it's a talent, a gift, a skill, a position you might be in, okay? It's something that doesn't die and will never die, okay? You know how certain people can be able to do something and they don't even get tired of it, or even if they get tired of it, it doesn't take away how good they are at it, or how talented, how gifted, how skilled, you know, how well they do it, how they do it. It doesn't change, you know what I mean? So if you take for a second just some time to reflect on your identity and what you, in your reality, your world, and your life are capable of, and then look at your ancestry lineage, not by the sight of this current generation that you might be witnessing, like meaning not the current relatives, but go beyond. There was the 1600s, there was even the 1100s, for goodness sake. You know what I mean? So you must think back how far it goes, how deep the roots are. Okay? Clarify the temperance further, please. We have the Nine of Wands here. Yeah, I feel like you're so talented, gifted, skilled, to the point where it puts certain people to shame. This is, of course, people that are also in that same league of work, or they're striving for the same thing. It's like you put people in a position to really have to acknowledge that you are the one that sets the level, or you're the one that sets the pedestal. Like, damn, I have to be as good as that person, or I can't wait to reach that person's level with it. You know what I mean? So it's like basically being the best at something here, or having a capability that no one can exceed. You haven't seen anyone, you haven't witnessed anyone that can do it as you do, because there isn't anyone. That's the thing about life. We're gifted in different ways, many varieties and layers. And if you want to look at another person and say, but like, why don't they, like, it's basically like how I can't look at another tarot reader and compare them to me, like, in two different leagues, and that's just facts. It's not ego, you know, it's the truth. So coming back to the generalization of this message here, acknowledging that you are an individual, your individuality based on your capability here, whatever it is that has been bestowed upon you, based on your ancestors, your ancestry lineage, your bloodline. You need to acknowledge that there's a reason you are the best at it. Like, that's why, coming back to what we've established, something is rigged in your favor like that. There's a reason you are the best at it. It is rigged. You have to accomplish something based on this here. It has to be of success. Something has to take off. It has to, okay? Clarify the temperance here. Like literally, we have the Hierophant and the Eight of Wands. So the Nine of Wands and the Eight of Wands here. Back to the energy of you make people feel really small, right? And these are the people that are trying to accomplish what you are doing, or are in the same sector, work field, job, you know, people that are in the trying to do what you do. Basically, it's like you are acting as some form of a teacher. You know how it's like an analogy, a reference point, a case study, an example, right? Being in school. You go to school to learn information, to learn things you never knew, things that you've yet to know, things that you've yet to understand, information that you've yet to actually grasp. That's why you have to go time and time again in the same class or with the same teacher, but there's always a teacher. That's the common denominator with school, a teacher, someone that is already experienced in that sector, and you are learning from them, right? You are taking what they already know. It makes you what they student, and it makes you somebody that has yet to get to that point with it. And why is, okay, it's like, it's easy to acknowledge that, damn, like this person has this profession and they disqualified with it, almost to a point where you feel like they overqualified, or you know, they in this position, they can do this and they have that, they this skilled, talented and gifted. Like it is that. And you, because you know yourself as a person, right? This is just an analogy, a reference point, a case study, an example. Because you know yourself as a person, you will not reflect like, damn, I know damn straight that I'm not on this level yet. And I know that I might not even be able to reach this level, but I can learn and get better through this person because they already qualified and experienced to that level in that regard. As therefore, you can say that person is a teacher, right? Whether or not they're in a school. It doesn't take a school for someone to be a teacher. Someone can teach just by being themselves. It's like, I heard something from someone that's close to me, right? I think it was yesterday, last night. He said, watching him exist is really inspirational, if I'm being honest. I don't know who he was talking about, but that line where he's acknowledging another person's identity in that form, in that way, in that shape, it just shows that that person themselves that is being acknowledged, their purpose is bigger than them. Think about it. Watching them is inspired. Watching them, he said, watching this person just exist. That's exactly what he said. The person close to me said, watching this person just exist is very inspirational to me, to be honest. That's what he said. And if you like think of, it's big. That's big stuff. That isn't something to say, oh, really? Oh, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's bigger than them. Back to the teacher. That person that is in that energy is probably, he or she, I don't know who he was talking about, but he or she is probably just being. Exactly. Them just existing alone. They're not in no school. They ain't have no books that they looking at and teaching. It's like, it's not about that. That was just an analogy, a reference point, a case study, an example. Look at it from a broadened horizon where you can literally school someone, whether they like it or not. You can literally school someone based on your own presence in life. That is what purpose is. It's not about, oh, I want to be a doctor. I want to be an engineer. That's just career-based interest or desire. It doesn't mean you're going to get there and be the best at it, or it doesn't mean you're going to get there and like it either. You know what I'm saying? You could want to be a doctor, want to be an engineer, and then have passion for something else like painting Or when you get to the painting, somebody might look at it and you make them cry off of that art. You see, there's different levels to being a teacher on earth. Don't ever put yourself in a box with it. You'd be surprised how many layers of your identity are inspiring to another. It's just inspiring to just watch. Certain people that's what it is. And yeah, clarify the temperance. That's the thing about purpose too. You can't change that about yourself. You can, unless you want to shrink yourself. But even then, it's just going to be like, yo, get out of that shell. Like, who are you actually? You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't show it. Like, I like to hide my world. I like to hide everything about me. Like, you know what I mean? But like, every time I do that, my ancestors always say to me, like, you know, there'll come a time when you can't do that anymore, right? In my world and in my reality, it is what it is in that way. So you take that how it resonates, beloved. We have the Two of Swords and the Ten of Wands here. We have Libra energy. So this info, okay. Who you are in your reality, where you get it from is very important. You need to acknowledge that for a second. You know what I mean? Take some time to reflect on that based on your ancestry and bloodline. Understand there are ancestors on your side working with you, all right? There are ancestors that they give you that, or they sharpen it for you, or refine it, you know, more, amplify it. You know, there's a lot to it, beloved. And all of that comes from somewhere, okay? I'm being called to really emphasize that. Like, even with me, I think I need to make myself an example so that you get it, right? I mean, everybody feeds off of prophetic vessel. Well, not me, but the channel, the cause, right? Everybody feeds off of that in a different way. Some people cry, and some people really get so happy. Some people, something in them just like, it awakens. You know, there's a lot of layers to one person. So I'm seeing that. I'm seeing like you have multiple layers of you that inspire many in different ways. And that's based on purpose. The message here is purpose. Okay, you are right in your purpose, and you are carrying out an assignment, one which is bigger than you, because it didn't start with you. I'm gonna say that again. The assignment that you are carrying out is bigger than you because it didn't start with you. Somebody in your ancestry tried to do this before. Whatever it is that you are doing, whatever it is you have capability to do, somebody tried, somebody wanted it. Somebody had resources but couldn't do it still because maybe of circumstance. There's many layers to things. And now you've been put in a position to really prosper at it. And you are in that position. You are there to heal your bloodline, to ascend your bloodline, to cleanse your bloodline. This ain't no joke. This ain't no small fry. Okay? Drawn back to what I said when I said, you know, some people, them just existing is really beautiful to watch. It's like maybe a vlog. Let me just come back to that generalization of an analogy, a reference point, a case study, an example, something we'll all get. It's like a vlog, you know. I love this one vlogger. I consider her much more than that because, you know, I see so much of her in many horizons of life. But, you know, she's an inspiring woman. Like, I see her, she's inspirational to me. So I think because also, I'm being called to mention her because I think there are people that will also, I'm sure in the comments, you know, there are people that are going to acknowledge what I'm saying because, you know, her name is De'Ara Taylor. Okay, so De'Ara Taylor, like, let's take her as an example, an analogy, a reference point, a case study. I watch her, right? She's a vlogger, and I don't watch her because I'm nosy. Oh, what's her life looking like? I could care less, you know what I'm saying, about what another person's life is looking like. What I care about is the fact of the type of energy she exudes and what place it puts me in when I watch it. You know, vlogs can be watched for different reasons and in different ways. Someone can like watching vlogs when they shower. Someone can like watching vlogs when they're getting ready, getting dressed. Someone can like watching vlogs driving or just chilling and having a calm day. They just like, and it's not every vlogger that they watch. There's specific vloggers, right? And that alone just shows like, yo, people embody different energies, and there's always, it's like coming back to why I watch De'Ara. It's like she's very inspirational in a way of like, I love how she carries herself as a woman. You know, I love how free spirited she is as a human being. You know, I love that even with lifing, she's able to maneuver through life in a way of grace. Like, you see, there's many layers to a person. She probably just loves vlogging, or it's her job or whatever. But someone looking from the outside, they're experiencing those layers, and to them, they're feeding off of that in different ways. That's why I'm saying, like, purpose, broaden the horizons of what purpose is, okay? We have the Four of Cups here, okay? We do have Scorpio energy as well as Cancer energy. Okay, so no matter what the world says, or no matter what the voice of the world, the voice of society, the voice of others externally of you, no matter what that voice says, the only voice that matters is the one you carry. All right, the only voice that matters is the one that you carry, beloved, and that's what you should always take with you, no matter what or where or what you do. All right, what you do, where you do it, how you do it, just always understand your voice is the only thing that matters, meaning that it's your decision and choice. It's your doing. It's you. Okay, no one can take that away from you. I don't care what anybody tries to say about whatever. It doesn't matter. They don't do what you do. They can't. Okay? It's yours for a reason. Please don't forget that. There's purpose in who you are. Okay? I mean, call to end this message here. This was your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time, and I thank you for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. To those whom are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love as well as spiritual path. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings. For $50 per month, you get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, as well as career and finances. You will find the link to my Patreon listed down in my description box below. You can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google, search it, and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. I thank you all for everything, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye.